Hello, Harvest family. Jonathan Reynolds here.
Ruth Cannon.
Yes, we are excited. We're here to talk a little bit about phase one of our church reopening. And in case you haven't heard the great news, on May 31st, this Sunday at 10:30 a.m., we are going to return to in-person services here at Harvest Church. And we are very, very, very excited about seeing all of our Harvest family interacting with you and just getting back to a little bit of normalcy here at Harvest.
Yes, we are looking forward to have some people in the sanctuary this weekend.
Yep, I know our worship team is very, very excited as well too, because they've been worshiping to a camera, and I'm assuming Pastor Ken and Xavier and Ruth and everyone who's been on stage at some point. You know, we appreciate our online audience and we love you, and we're going to continue with that as well. But we'd like to talk to some people as well, so we're very, very, again, excited about the opportunity to have people back in our house starting this Sunday. And I know a lot of you have had questions about our phase one rollout. What does that look like? What steps are we taking to ensure the safety of the public and make sure that everyone has a very, very good time and feels comfortable at church? I think that's something we've been having a lot of people ask us about, Ruth.
Right, yes. We want to make sure you feel safe, make sure you feel comfortable. We have been planning and preparing for this day so we can open as safely as possible.
Amen to that. And I also want to add too, while we're opening up and inviting people back to church, listen, we understand those of you that don't feel comfortable yet being back in public, being in a setting with a bunch of people. So listen, we love you, we appreciate you, we look forward to you still joining us online. And eventually, when you do feel comfortable, we will look forward to seeing you as well. That being said, we do have a lot of steps in place that will hopefully ensure that those of you who are coming will feel comfortable and safe and be able to have your most enjoyable experience while you are here. So we're now going to go through the different steps of our phase one reopening. And first of all, Ruth, people are going to experience a different type of greeting as they come to church. We're still going to be friendly. We're still going to love you, but we are going to do it in a safe way. So Ruth, what can people expect when they come up to church?
Yes, so as you know, we have a great First Impressions team. We have some great people as ushers, but it will look a little different this week and in the weeks to come.
We're going to have people wearing masks. So for those of you that have questions whether or not our greeters and our welcome team will have masks on, yes, they're going to be wearing masks.
Yes.
We're going to practice special social distancing measures. When you come into the sanctuary, Ruth, what can people expect as they get to their seats?
So as you come in, we have separated the seats. We have spaced out some rows. We're actually going to be sitting every other row, as well as some seating spaced out. But when you get here, we would love if you would first see an usher. Our ushers are going to be seating you as you come in as a group or as a family, and that will just help us as we are trying to maintain our space as we're seated.
Absolutely right. And we will be spaced out too outside of the sanctuary. You'll probably see markers on the carpet that will space you out, sort of like you see at your grocery store, again, just to ensure proper social distancing measures are in place. Now, I want to remind you too that while our greeters and our welcome team will be covered up, they're not going to be shaking hands, they're not going to be hugging, but we are going to be waving, so we want you to be friendly. There is going to be excitement here, so we don't want to put a damper on that at all. So feel free to wave, feel free to shout out hello or whatever you
air
might.
Hugs.
Air hugs, yes, air hugs.
Yeah.
Little air fist, whatever you feel comfortable doing. We won't be having that contact.
Right.
So that's what you can look forward to with our greeters and your entrance into the sanctuary itself. The next thing we just want to remind you about too is our cafe. Normally it's a self-serve cafe. You walk up, you grab your cup of coffee, you talk to your friends. It won't look like that this weekend.
Right. Our cafe will be open for those of you that want to maybe grab a cup of coffee. Again, that's at your own discretion.
Yes.
Our volunteers that will be serving coffee will be giving everything to you. They will be serving the coffee for you. They will be handing you creamer and sugar. They will be also wearing masks as well as gloves just to keep everyone safe.
Absolutely right. And we love you to get coffee. I'll probably get some coffee myself because I'm going to need that boost at about 10:30 on Sunday morning. But they will also, the people serving the coffee, they'll be wearing gloves, they'll be wearing masks. You shouldn't have any issues about that. We would ask that while you're in line to get coffee, sort of like when you enter into the sanctuary, properly space out there as to not get too congested. When people move to the bathrooms, Ruth, I know that's been a question as well. What is the bathroom situation going to look like? We are going to limit the number of people that are in the bathroom at one time. And I believe we'll have attendants in there as well.
Yes, we are going to have someone for each restroom just kind of wiping down and cleaning up after you have been in there, after someone's been in there. And again, just asking the ladies not to congregate in the bathroom. And we will have a limit for the people in the restroom at the same time.
Yes, no 2x2, no like Noah's Ark bathroom.
I know we like to travel in groups to the restroom, but we're going to ask that we don't do that here at Harvest on Sunday mornings.
Right, we're going to be very, very safe when it comes to the restrooms. As we do come into the sanctuary, we want to be mindful of everyone's social distance from one another. We want to keep that spacing. As Ruth mentioned before, the spaces will be separated. There'll be gaps between the seats. We also want to be mindful just to not hug and not to shake hands in the sanctuary as well. Air hugs, air fists, whatever you feel comfortable with doing once you're in the sanctuary, we want to maintain that as well. I also want to remind parents out there, if you have a middle school student, if you have a high school student, if you have a student that participates in our Kids Zone, that we will not be open this weekend. That will not be available for your students to participate in. We're asking everyone to come into the sanctuary. And I know we've had questions from parents about, well, I have some young children, I'm not sure how they're going to act. Maybe I don't want to bring them because I'm nervous about maybe a temper tantrum or just them being uncomfortable or being very, very impatient, which certainly can happen. But Ruth, we want them to understand that we understand. And
Yes, so please, your children are welcomed and encouraged to come into service on Sunday mornings. We would love to have them. We realize that we are going to have young ones, 2 high schoolers in here with us, and that is okay. Like Jonathan said, if you have a child that gets a little uncomfortable or antsy or maybe fussy, that's okay. We're all going to give each other a little grace and just welcome every family that wants to come.
Amen to that. It's just going to be part of the experience. It's going to be part of getting back together as a Harvest family and really doing family worship together because we are one big family here, and that includes all of our children. So don't sweat it. Don't get nervous. It is what it is. We actually will welcome the noise in here, I believe.
Yes. We'll just be happy to be together.
Amen to that.
Also, we just want to remind you that as we close at the end of service, we are going to dismiss by sections. And that is really just, again, to maintain our social distancing, to make sure that we are all leaving in an orderly fashion and no one's getting too close or the aisles are getting too cramped. And then as you leave, we do ask that if you want to say hi to your friend or maybe you want to chat for a few minutes, just that, again, we don't congregate in the foyer, but if you would move that maybe to our courtyard or our outdoor spaces, just to keep everyone safe and, again, feeling very comfortable.
Your health and well-being are a priority to us, and we just want to let you know that we're going to be very, very cognizant of ensuring that everyone who comes through our sanctuary doors this Sunday feels comfortable and is excited and ready to worship God together as we resume our in-person services.
Yes, we are looking forward to seeing you, and we cannot wait to come back to church together.
We will see you on Sunday.